One of the things we want to talk about right out the bat is timing, because when you have an estate plan or a trust, you might be considering an exit. So, is there a right time to talk about your estate or your trust when you have a business and you're thinking about selling it? And is there a case also for waiting until after you sell your business and you take an exit?
So I think it's important at the outset to talk about estate planning, the different types what people might be thinking of when they hear this, right? So I think about estate planning as having two separate buckets. One being purely the contingency planning, getting your will done, getting your basic living trust done. In California, people are doing living trusts, the basic documents that everybody needs that says, where your stuff goes when you die, versus irrevocable trust planning, tax planning, which is more the type of planning that I would consider advanced planning, a tax planning. This is the type of planning that you need to think about when you're thinking about an exit. So, the first bucket, you always need that done, and it doesn't matter timing. Get that done as soon as you can. If you have any assets at all, right? I think for the purposes of today, get that done. But for the second category of trust planning and things like that, the sooner the better is really the answer, right? And that doesn't always get done because sometimes clients don't know that they need to be planning, doing tax planning before the exit, or sometimes they are so embroiled in the planning and the negotiations and all that stuff that it's just not a priority, right? They're circulating term sheets, they're doing all this kind of stuff. That's not there on their mind. But there are some planning techniques that are timing dependent and where certain doors will be closed if you waited too long. Others, the door hasn't closed at past a certain point, but the earlier the better, from a tax savings, evaluation perspective, and also just from a practicality perspective as well, which is we get clients calling all the time, 2 weeks before, a secondary sale, or 2 weeks before something's happening. And it's hard, even if we can do the work, it's really stressful. And you're not doing your best thinking and planning if you're under the gun. So it's really great if you can get out in front of it as early as you can, ideally 6 months in advance.